Do you know that nonprofit hospitals are the most profitable?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They can just hide that money. They charge crazy amounts for.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like, nonprofit are the most profitable.
Yeah.
So this whole idea, it's all just bullshit. This most of what you think of as like philanthropy is really like the Bill Gates stuff.
Yeah.
There's a great book called what is the name of the book? I read this book, Control Oligarchs, and it's all about how a lot of these guys they realized that they were having public image problems, like particularly Bill Gates, like during the antitrust lawsuits with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Then he pivots to this Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation where it's all about philanthropy. But they're philanthro-capitalists.
Yeah.
All the different philanthropy ventures are extremely profitable. Like he made $500 million allegedly off the COVID vaccine, off of his investments in this vaccine that didn't even fucking work well.
Yeah. I think Trump got paid with that too. But it's like, the money thing. I don't know. The citizens, the regular citizens, are the ones that pay the price for this shit.
It's dark, and so here it is. Put your headset on real quick. Listen to this guy talk about. Congressman recently described some nonprofit hospitals as hedge funds with hospital beds.
Persons say that nonprofit hospitals were like hedge funds with hospital beds, and I was like, I bet they are. What's going on here? Because in the United States, more than half of our hospitals are nonprofits. But the hospital world doesn't feel very non-profity. And then I read this article by Scott Hodge in the Washington Post that talked about how they need to be taxed. And it turns out that the total revenues of nonprofit hospitals in America in 2023, so 3 years ago, was $1.3 trillion. And it turns out that they're getting a bunch of taxpayer money. In fact, 3 years ago, so this is probably a lot more now, nonprofit hospitals were making $45 billion worth of profit. And as I mentioned, we taxpayers give them a bunch of money. In fact, in 2021, we gave them $38 billion, $11.5 billion of it because they don't have to pay any taxes. And that was 5 years ago, so this is probably more like $60 billion now. And the reason that we hypothetically give them this money as taxpayers is because they're supposed to do charity. But there was a study that looked at almost 1,500 nonprofit hospitals and found that 86% of them provided little or no charity. And that's because almost everybody that goes to hospitals has insurance. It's either private health insurance or insurance from the government. Only 3% of people don't have health insurance, and it's not like the hospitals give them a deal. Turns out that the government was checking this out around 2009. The hospitals spun up a lobbying campaign and got any requirements that would basically define what kind of charity they would have to do squashed. So now it's kind of the honor system. So I was like, where are those billions of dollars going that the nonprofit hospitals make in profits? Turns out it goes to executives, like these CEOs who are getting paid about $4.5 million a year. Meanwhile, their nurses make about $70K. $4.5 million a year here. Apparently management consultants getting billions of dollars from nonprofit hospitals. And here's a guy, Robert, at a hospital in New York who paid himself $15.3 million a year. Nonprofit hospital. And there are really good nonprofit hospitals that are primarily funded by donations and serve low-income families and people in need, like St. Jude or like the Shriners. But it looks like about 86% of these nonprofit hospitals get $50 or $60 billion from U.S. taxpayers like you and me because they're supposed to do some form of charity, but they paid off the government so they don't have to really do charity. And some of their CEOs are making $15.3 million a year while we subsidize them with like $50 billion. Do you think this is right? I saw this congressperson.
Okay, so this is P. Davis Jones on Instagram. Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So it's just like the UFO thing.
Yep.
There's
distractions.
There's so much to pay attention to. There's so much fucking fraud, and there's so much This is what Elon told me when he started looking into the Doge stuff. He's like, it's impossible to describe the amount of fraud.
Yeah.
He's like, it's insane. That's what Nick Shirley found in Minnesota when he went to investigate the daycares, and also found in California with hospice care centers. There's entire motels where every room was supposed to be an office for some fucking nonprofit, and they're all just siphoning money. So it's madness.
So that's what it makes
money.
Regular people like me, like, what's the answer? It's what's the point to all this?
Aliens.
Meanwhile, I'm paying out my ass in taxes for shit like this.
Yeah.
Or for war. It's like,
all of it's gross.
Yeah.
Every single, I mean, what we're going to have is some sort of like radical transparency where all this stuff gets exposed and gets exposed like probably with some AI program. And no one's going to want to turn that on.
Right.
They're never going to want everyone to know exactly how much fraud and how much fucking terrible management they've done with our money.
Oh.
Like the Pentagon's never passed an audit once.
No.
Not one.
No.
Zero.
And you look at
You don't pass an audit, you're going to jail.
For sure.
Yeah,
You
not
look
them.
at how much we're in debt, all the shenanigans they do with the public money. It's just like,
That's over exaggerated. We're only in debt $39 trillion. That's not a big deal.
isn't that crazy?
You know, the thing is they could just print $39 trillion and it's done.
yeah, just pay it off.
The reason why they don't is because they have really good control.
God,
They're doing a great job.
it's a